Chapter 62-53. Jimmy had already given up on his face at this time. He took the microphone and walked onto the stage, came to Charlie's side. Then bowed deeply to the audience, and said very ashamedly, "Dear guests, I am really sorry that my previous behavior was offensive. Please don't mind. The reason why I made trouble at the wedding was because I was greedy and wanted to snatch the shares of Smith Law Firm from my sister-in-law and nephew." Then Jimmy said, "In fact, Smith Law Firm was founded by my sister-in-law and my late eldest brother after decades of hard work. There is actually no equity relationship with the Smith family. The reason why I coveted the shares of Smith Law Firm is that there are larger law firms in the United States that want to merge all of Smith Law Firm's business in the United States. Now think about it, I really deserve to die. For the sake of money, I actually disregarded family affection and the law. I am really ashamed." At this point, Jimmy sighed and continued, "In order to make up for my own greed and mistakes, I have decided to stay in Orris Hill and contribute to their future careers. I also hope that I can express my own repentance and support for them with practical actions. Finally, I sincerely wish today's bride and groom a happy wedding and a long-lasting marriage. Once again, I would like to express my sincerest apologies to them and all the guests present for my recklessness and shamelessness today." Jimmy's confession gave many guests a clearer understanding of what had just happened. And they all knew that Maching's law firm had no conflicts of interest with her late husband's family. This was also the reason why Charlie asked Jimmy to apologize publicly. Words are scary. If after today's wedding, it is rumored that Maching robbed her late husband's family's assets and ran back to China, it would be a great insult and blow to her personality. Jimmy made this clear today. And he could completely cut off the possibility of gossip from outsiders. At this time, Jimmy was also bitter in his heart. It was definitely embarrassing, but in order to survive, he could only give up his reputation and face. After Jimmy's problem was solved, Maching and Pollard's wedding had no other obstacles and was successfully completed. The two were indeed a perfect match. Not only were the guests very optimistic about them, but even Paul and Melba thought they were a match made in heaven. And they were all happy for their fathers or mothers. Charlie could also see that the couple truly loved each other. And the deep love was in their eyes and could not be hidden at all. After the wedding, the couple and their children sent the guests out together. Steve was about to say goodbye and leave, so he said to Charlie, "Mr. Wade, I'll go back to the hotel first. I'll make arrangements for Jimmy. You can contact me anytime if you have any specifics." Charlie nodded and said, "Thank you for making a special trip." Steve said hurriedly, "Why are you being polite to me?" After that, he said to Pollard and Maching, "I wish you a happy wedding again. My private jet happens to be parked in Orris Hill, and I won't leave for the time being. You can use it for your honeymoon. It doesn't matter where you go." Pollard thanked him. "Thank you for your kindness, Mr. Rothschild. We have already booked the tickets, so we won't trouble you." "No trouble," Steve said. "Just refund the tickets. My private jet is a modified A350. Its comfort is absolutely unmatched, even Air Force One can't compare." Charlie smiled and said, "That's great. Uncle, Aunt, this is also a small gift from Steve. Please don't be polite. With the support of the Rothschild family's name, it will be much more convenient to go anywhere. Not only will the road be more comfortable, but it can also save a lot of time." Pollard didn't want to cause trouble to others. But since Charlie said so, he couldn't refuse, so he said to Steve, "Thank you, Mr. Rothschild." Steve smiled and said, "You're welcome, I'll arrange everything." Jimmy came over at this time and said flatteringly, "Sister-in-law. Maybe it will not be appropriate to call you sister-in-law in the future. I'll call you Mrs. Watt in the future." Maching smiled and said, "Jimmy, you should call me sister-in-law. After all, you have called me that for so many years. What's more, although your eldest brother is gone, Paul will always be your nephew.
Yes, yes, yes.